Madam Secretary, for being here. I'll get right to the questions. Over the last several decades, the Gulf of Mexico has been a multi-use basin. However, the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management recently published its Notice of Availability of the Area Identification, or Area ID, for the proposed Gulf of Mexico lease sales 262, 263, and 264, and is already potentially excluding blocks for the not yet finalized Gulf of Mexico Rice's Whale critical habitat, potential wind energy area blocks, sand sediment resources area blocks, and topographic blocks. This signals a move away from multiple use and instead looks to be arbitrarily excluding areas from potential oil and gas lease sales, which is unprecedented. Never happened before until now. So what is different now to push DOI to move away from multiple use?
Congressman, thank you for the question. And we do have a multiple use mandate for our public lands, and that's what we do.
Okay. Why is DOI then moving to exclude the proposed Rice's Whale critical habitat area, even though that critical habitat has not yet been finalized?
I'm happy to get back with you on that specific question, Congressman, if you were seeking data or something of that nature. But I will say that we are very careful about how we are moving our clean energy transition forward. And I also want to say that with respect to offshore wind, we have a large number of conversations with stakeholders, and we absolutely speak with many people before we make any decisions of that kind.
Okay, well, with the Rice's Whale critical habitat area, the ruling has to be made before you can block it. If you block it before the ruling is made, then that's definitely not going off the science. And to do so preemptively shows a bias against oil and gas production in that area, barring none, because you just want to. So I'd urge caution in blocking that area before the ruling has come out.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. Following a court decision, the BOEM was required to restore the 6 million acres that it had initially excluded from lease sale 261, after claiming those acres needed to be excluded due to potential impacts to the Rice's Whale. Inexplicably, BOEM made this decision again before the critical habitat determination was finalized. Are you going to continue with this, or is this mistake going to be made again? Because this is a mistake. You can't do it before it's been finalized. So it's basically the same question asked a different way. So are you going to continue with that before it's been finalized?
Congressman, I apologize. We're happy to get back with your office as soon as
I'd appreciate
I have
that.
a moment and
Sure,
answer
sure.
that specific
You only have
question
8 billion topics that you have to cover, so I don't expect you to have a memory of those, but I would like to get those answers.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We'll be happy to
Okay.
contact you.
Well, let's move on to and one last question, Mr. Chairman. The 5-year Outer Continental Shelf leasing program issued by the Biden administration has the fewest lease sales scheduled in the history of 5-year programs, dating back to the 1980s. And 2024 will be the first year since 1965 without an offshore lease sale. So with offshore production accounting for 15% of U.S. oil production in a time where the world is going to need all of our energy production, do you think it's important to continue offshore production?
Congressman, as you know, we do follow the law in all of these issues. I will say that with respect to the National OCS program, 3 lease sales in the plan have the greatest resource potential and net benefits, with the least potentially significant impacts and costs to society. Let's see, proposed schedule will best meet national energy needs for the next 5 years, and it meets all of the Inflation Reduction Act requirements that Congress put on us. I also would like to say that U.S. production on public lands and waters is at an all-time high currently.
That doesn't really matter. What I'm asking about is 262, and I know you're getting a lot of papers from right back, so let's summarize this in one way. Mm-hmm. Will you commit to a lease sale for 262?
Congressman, we are going to operate within the law, and
Get to yes. Come on. Let me hear
and
yes.
I
Commit to the lease sale that's required. on the 5-year plan?
We are going to do everything that we're required to do with respect to our energy needs in this country. I know Congress it has mandated us to have lease sales. We're going to have those.
Very well. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I yield back. Thank you, ma'am.
Sounded like a yes to me.